Only two. That's it. Just Kim
No.
coming. No one wanted to paint this again.
What do you mean again? Have we painted it before?
No, no. I mean, yeah, people not showing up. But it is,
It's
before Easter here.
yeah.
I'm sure you got huge plans, right?
Me?
Yeah, you.
No, I've ridden some horses this morning and now I'm back in the city and my plans are to paint this evening. Yay.
I'm sorry, got you painting like this, huh? So you can't spend more time for your horses?
No, that's plenty.
Yeah.
That was plenty. No, I haven't painted in a while because we didn't paint. Well, I have painted. Um,
Yeah.
but
I saw that. You worked on this one a lot.
I worked on that one, but I've also been doing some portraits. Here, I'll show you. This is work in progress. I've been copying John Singer Sargent's
Oh, yes. Wow.
um
It's a great start.
and
Or is
I've
that a fifth?
done, let's see. I've got, yeah, I know that one. This one is almost finished. I've done her
Wow.
and
Fabulous.
I've done a Velasquez.
Congratulations. Those
I've
are
been tr-
nice. Really nice there, Kim.
they take a lot of sweat equity in those, man.
I
Yeah,
tell you, but the things you can learn from those things
a
can help
lot.
all your paintings.
Yeah,
Not just me.
yeah. Oh yeah, no, portraits are hard because well, they're just hard because they're hard. But
Yeah,
especially when you're copying somebody, it either looks like it or it doesn't. It's
right.
just that's the way it is.
Well, you did a great job on those. I mean, those I could tell look very good right away. I Good colors too. I mean, your colors look really nice.
Naples yellow.
Naples yellow, big color.
That's a big one for this, I think. Yeah. Instead of using, so I was taught, to the extent I've been taught, to use the Zorn palette for
Oh,
portraits.
yeah.
And that's white, black, ochre, and cad red.
Right.
And I find that goes gray.
Yeah.
Whereas if I don't use white and instead I use that Naples yellow, now it sounds ridiculous, right? Because that probably is just ochre and white.
Sort of. Yeah.
But
But
but but
still,
but nonetheless, it makes a much nicer effect for me. So hey,
good.
fine. If
Hey,
it's working, go for it.
yeah, you got to go with what you got.
Right.
Oh God, what do I do? Am I in the right place? Oh God. One
Yeah,
second.
so that one with the horse, I was amazed when you posted yours because I thought, oh my God, all the time I spent putting all those little roofs in and you didn't put hardly any. And I thought, oh my
What
God.
was that?
In the pony one that we're looking at, mine
Yeah.
had so many buildings in the yeah,
Oh, back in there. Yeah, I
yeah.
tried not to see those.
Mm.
I tried to see squares and just basic soft shapes. But yours came out pretty really nice. So I think you should be happy with it. I think maybe the it could have been just the camera, just adding a little
Yeah.
more too much contrast to yours.
Picks
That,
up the white in the horse. Yeah.
yeah, and that's even I look at mine, I can see
Yeah.
that could be even considered too bright. So I probably led you in the wrong direction. So I take full responsibility.
Oh, it's all right. I
So
like it. It's cute.
yeah, it was a fun little painting, huh?
Hmm.
Trying to get everything up. Got a new got a new easel here.
It looks it.
It's huge. It's huge. It's called the Zorg easel. It's supposed to be able to use your fingertips and just lift it up and down and stuff. So big for bigger paintings. But I got a real great deal on it, so it's like I had to get it, and then you know now I get to find space for it, and I find my ceilings aren't big enough for it. Ah, of course. So now
Mm.
I have to make some adjustments to it, but that's okay. I can do them. So let's see. I got that up. Let me get my other phone up, and it'll be set. Did I send it to myself? Yes, I did. Good. We are on our way. The heck? Oh, there it is.
Who else is with us?
Who we got? We got,
Oh, there's more people now.
oh,
Good, good.
yeah. We, we got Carrie. Yeah, sorry, I had to disconnect my audio. Okay, I can come back and get this off spotlight off Kim. Poor Kim forced to act like she's doing something the whole time when she doesn't want to be.
I'll just shut my camera off.
Oh, hey, that's my ceiling. That's not going to work. There we go. Oh, look at that palette. Nice and cleaned off. Everything's ready to go just the way it should be for this spectacular painting we're going to be doing today. Let me see if I can get my cord out of here. Make sure my camera never stops on us. Okay, we are good. I'll move around that. My brushes are a little dirty, so I will have to clean them a little bit. Bring this down a little bit more. But my easel's leaning sideways. I wonder why. There it is. I still haven't tightened down everything on it. I just got this easel yesterday. And it's supposed to be I'm supposed to be able to lift with it's counterweighted and stuff. I'm supposed to be able to do with my fingers, be able to just lift it up and down. And so far, but it's at the top of my ceiling already, so I can't do anything.
So can I just ask a sort of practical question?
Yes, ma'am.
I see you've got the clip to hold the actual canvas on the thing.
This?
Yeah. Yeah, that one, that black one.
I still like doing it like that.
Does it have some other way though to hold that on there?
Oh yeah. There's a thing.
A thing that slides down. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but it casts a shadow, so I just leave it up there.
Because I find it difficult to work with those clips because then I've got to paint around them or something. I don't know.
Oh, clips? Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I just pull them off, put them back right back on. And that I don't worry about. They really don't ruin the paint that much. I mean, it's just a little teeny mark. Usually at the top too. Doesn't make much difference up there. And as you can tell with this one, it's marks are my what I do.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, this is what you probably could see because of it's not going to have quite as much glare on it since it's dry. But that horse and the angles and things, yeah, a lot of always a little trouble with this one trying to get, since the horse is sort of in shade, and it just getting the light to not to be too bright. At this point, the strokes are in. It's good. I can't do any much, and I can't move them. I like the strokes. If there is a problem, I'll glaze it. If I want to tone it back down, I want to put a little green in it, or phthalo green into it. I'll just skin it. I'll just glaze it at the end. Anything over here too, if I want to bring these buildings back, same thing. I mean, I don't have to glaze them, but those ones I might have put in with real paint because they a little opaque. But anything over white is nice and easy to glaze up, darken it up a little bit. So that's always, even when you feel like you want too white, you can still fix it.
So what would you glaze with? Burnt sienna is the only thing I could think of.
Yeah. Any transparent. I like transparent colors. So you got alizarin crimson, you got phthalo green, you got burnt sienna, burnt umber, transparent oxide red.
Right. And you'd mix them with something else, or just put them on one or the other?
I usually it's always a test. You got to do a little test.
Okay.
If you want, it needs to go warmer, darker.
Right. Okay.
It needs to be cooler or warmer too. So, I find there's few things I find phthalo green works really well on a lot of things.
No, you don't say.
Yeah, you would be surprised. Very, very little. It goes a long ways though. But you'll be fine. You can push things back and you just get coolness and depth. I just don't tell everybody that. So today we are moving on from that to three chicks at the beach here. Here we go. Um, nothing too crazy. I wanted to get you guys back in nice and easy, not get you too crazy. Hey, we got another English girl here. We got Luann's here. So got three English girls in this my Saturday morning class now. That's pretty nice. We got Allison showing up. But this should be fun. There was a little bit bigger of a picture. It went out to about here, and there was like three other chicks in it back over on this side. But I just said I'm going to zoom in. I don't want to, I don't think those aren't needed. They don't help the composition at all. I'll concentrate on these guys, make the composition work a little bit better, and we'll see what we got. That was my thinking. So I'm going to pull it up here, and we'll start talking about it, and wait for give people a chance to show up. It is Easter tomorrow, so I can understand why people decide to clean their house instead of do this. But that's people. Okay, here we go. Two nice pieces here. Okay. This is real interesting. I mean, I just went to I always like turn them into black and white we can really see the scale, where the values are, and where we're going to be. Yeah, the darkest things are, of course, these. Are these waves back in here? The shadows and the waves, and then the shadows are the reflections of the birds and the birds themselves. They are, I was finding these guys are all right around sevens. All these things go about 7. These guys could go a little bit darker if you wanted. These guys could almost go 7.5. They don't go very much darker. Usually the rule of thumb is in reflections. The reflection is going to be a half step or a step lighter in the darks, and a half step darker in the lights. So that means this up here is probably the water, the glisten on the sand here would be probably a little bit darker than what the sky is right now. Just let you think about that. Also, I was thinking about the design here a little bit. Trying to get the composition of between these two birds being tight and this one over here a little bit farther away. I would keep that going. Make sure you don't get them too tight in between here, between these two right here. Make sure we have a little more space. Even would be halfway decent. Slide this one over because they both have the same head turn, and also even though they do have the same head turn, I think when I paint them, they will change a little bit. I mean, I'm not going to worry about them being exact, because I think even with just painting them, they won't be exact. Okay, let's see. Here it is in color. Color's pretty simple. A lot of reflective colors, a lot of white birds, and white reflections, right? White froth from the waves behind them. A lot of white. But like we're talking about the birds and stuff, that they are a value of right around 7 and sometimes 8 with the red. That red, the reflection of the sand into their belly here. That's always going to go darker. Red's always go a little bit darker. And then you can even see that reflection of that sand. Yeah, from this sand to there, going down, so so that should be simple. One of these things I'm going to tell you right now is pretty much we're not going to paint this area here till the middle of the painting. We're going to paint pretty much everything else, here, and look at how to take out water and stuff to make the spray. We'll be looking at that. Make it interesting. We're going to look at it a few different ways of try to how to make the froth of the waves here uh, interesting a few different ways. So I think that's going to be kind of fun. The birds themselves are pretty much not, if you can paint a pair, look at this guy. That's that's a pair. That's a Bartlett. And then we got over here, you got another nice, nothing but a pairs. So if we can do that shape, it doesn't even have to be perfect on these guys. Really, the thing I want to hit on the seagulls themselves again is the highlight, the backlight. Get that really perfect. I'm going to look a few different ways of how to put that in. We can either, you know, remove paint, which is what I like to do, or you got to put it in with a knife, or you can put it in with the tip of your brush. Um, there's a few different ways. Legs. I'm going to say this right away. Don't put the legs in till the end. Okay, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stay away from the legs. We'll get them in at the end. I'll put them in with a knife. I'm just going to drop these guys in, and then make a mark and drop them in the rest of the way. Simple as we can do them. We don't want those guys to be gobby. Gobby of paints. We want thin little scratches and thinner. If you put it down and the paint breaks up, leave it. Don't try to overpaint. Same thing with the little things like this and the waves and things. You know, we're gonna get to those things. Don't get to them too soon. They're mostly at the end. Kind of things where we're just gonna push some paint back and forth. That's all you got to do on those things. It's all that's required. And removing paint back in here, all that stuff here looks a little crazy and stuff, but it is nothing more than paint eraser up there, and then mixed with regular paint. We'll talk about highlights and stuff in that too, and then we'll talk about the highlights around these guys, how we're going to paint those, or sometimes remove them. Sometimes you don't want to do all the birds done the same way. You don't. You want to, like, if you want. Oops, sorry. Look, I got to get rid of that. We want one bird really to stand out, like this guy. If you wanted him to stand out, we could paint his highlights, and everybody else we could just remove, scratch him out so he looks a little different. That will help. I did not do this. This is the same head. So you can see whoever photo. I borrowed this photo again from Artist Reference. I don't think that they use the same head, but I'm just thinking that it's really close. The same, but I don't really care. When we paint it, if we can make them look the same, that's what you shoot for, because you won't. It's not going to happen. That's the way I look at it. I don't. It's not a big deal as long as this one of them's, two out of the three look different. That's all you got to worry about. Well, two out of three, then never worry. Okay.
I'm sorry. What was that rule again with the reflections? The reflections, the light reflects darker.
The very beginning.
I know. I'm sitting here looking at it. I'm trying to make sense of what it was because they look the same.
They are really close because they are so close together. But it's usually reflections are a step lighter in the darks,
right, and darker in the lights, Okay.
This value that they are at, is right here in the middle. So it's not going to show too much. I mean, if it's 5 here, it goes down. It becomes, it doesn't really get a darker. Sometimes they just stay the same on that at that value. But usually, if they're darker down here, they're going to go down to here. If they're up here, they're going to go down there. Sometimes in the middle, they just stay in the middle. I didn't say that because I kind of, usually I only just do the top parts, top and bottom values to worry about. But that was a good one. Kim, you always catch me. Damn it. Okay. Colors are good. I love these colors. A lot of white we're going to be playing with. Okay. Let's get a lot of white. So, like I said, most of these values here are really way up here. I toned mine down. We're gonna because the painting and a little because I want to change the key because there's a lot of these whites here were even up here at ones. So I just I'm gonna paint it a little bit darker just because I need a space somewhere to go. I mean, sometimes if you're already up here, there's nowhere to go. Light to lighten it up, and so you get a lot of chaos back here that you can't make sense of because we can always keep this just a hair darker back in the background behind their heads so that they pop a little bit when you hit the highlights. They're just going to stand out. That's what I'm looking at. So I did cheat. I forgot about that. I just did that yesterday, and I'm not sure if I even sent that out to you guys because I thought about it right after I sent it out. I go, that'd be kind of fun to paint this in a totally different key than it is. That would make it harder on you guys. So it's not hard. I mean, it's just less white. That's all we're doing. A little less white. Okay, that's where we're going at. Any questions? 3, 2, 1, gone. All right, we're out of here. All right. Let's see here. We are going back to this. Okay. Huh. All right. Oh, look at that beautiful palette. Make sure I get all the white in there. All right. Sorry. Gotta get on my synthetics. As you can see, I was painting yesterday, cleaning my studio, and I didn't clean my brushes. So I have to clean these. Why I paint, as you can see, really bad. That was just hit the paint though. Colors. We are going to be painting with definitely going to need a lot of titanium white, some cad yellow light, some cad red light, definitely some cad orange. This is cad yellow medium I have out from something else. I got some yellow ochre, pale yellow ochre up there, and some regular gold ochre here from old paintings, and they are just really skinned over. Not much left of them. Here we have oxide red light, which is really nice. Alizarin crimson or rose madder deep if you're Rembrandt. Cobalt blue hue back over here. It's getting a little gooky. Sorry, some old. I say gooky. I mean just by some of the older paint. Phthalo green on the blue shade, and transparent oxide, which is just a lot like oxide red, transparent oxide red, which is a lot like burnt sienna, but just a little bit better. I kind of like it better. Definitely, you're going to need some really nice synthetics for this painting, and I'm just going to clean my brush. See, I just clean it, I just oil it, close it down, and pull the color out, and it's done. But of course, I had blue on the thing, so lucky it wasn't phthalo. Phthalo would be a nasty because it would be all over my brushes. Okay, gonna have some bristle brushes, probably 2, and paint eraser. Definitely, this would come in handy. This one, and if I got a new one, this one, it's not a new one. I usually do my signatures with this one, but this is from Dick Blix here. But it's just a nice thing. It's almost like a pencil, and it just pulls off paint just like a pencil would, pencil tip. So it's really nice. I got a few of those. That's a new one because I was, I was there, so I was like, I'll buy a new one. Okay. Always nice to have two because you never know when you're traveling. All right. So my brushes can be used with some bristles. I'll be using this. I'll be using that. Just trying to clean my brushes so I don't, have place to go. Here, I'll pull up a photo for you, and we will get a move on. It's not bad color too. All right. Darks, not too many darks in here. I mean, really darks. Their beaks are the darkest ones. So let's do a little bit of work there. I'm going to go with a little bit of phthalo green. And I'm going to go with, so I put out two versions, and I'm going to do one with the oxide red light. I think I can get the red side. I can get it rich enough to be, get in there. So I'm going to make sure I have one on the red side, one on the greenish side. This color here might end up being, when it's toned down, well, both those are the exact same color. Make this one a little bit more red. And this one just a hair more green. Not much. So I can tell them apart. So that's green, that's red. A lot of times when I add white to these things, these guys are going to gray out and stuff. So I'm looking at these colors here to end up being the value of probably the sand and stuff. Maybe have a little warmer temperature than the birds. Speaking of the birds, gonna do again, go for phthalo green and alizarin. I know you guys were waiting on that one. He's going to do phthalo green alizarin. I know he's going to do phthalo green alizarin. Yes, I'm going to do phthalo green alizarin. Oh, that is a lot. Let me see the phthalo. I see the phthalo came back right at the end. Right there, it was gone. The red was killing it. I overdid it, and it came back at the end. So I'm going to this pile and these two piles here, one of these guys are going to end up being pretty much all this bottom work here when I add white to it. So I am just going to beef these piles up a little bit more because I don't really have a whole lot here. So just make them a little bit bigger to work from. There's going to be a ton of white added to these colors, but I just want to have enough paint on those ones. Let's go. We're going to do some blues and some oxide reds too. Ooh. Just put that out. And it's all got a big old skin on it. Oh. Rub it in. Okay. Okay, that and oxide red. It's a little bit, I'm looking for a little more warmth, grayed out warmth here. Ooh. That oxide red was so strong, it just kicked the snot out of that blue. Then bring back blue to bring it back. I might even just put it all over here and just use the red, that put a little bit of red, and then redo the blue. Get it. Okay. That might be in there too. That could definitely be in there. And my last color would be a mix of phthalo green and blue. These guys, just because I wanted a little bit of richness to it. I think I could get that. Oh, what? There's one more color. Shoot. So that'll take care of over 3/4 of the painting. This side's going to be on the green side, as you can tell. This guy I'm going to keep really blue. Got to get these oranges. These oranges in the belly. I'm going to look at it a couple different ways. I'm going to go with blue and cat orange. I think that might be interesting. Now, turning green on me. Didn't turn to go the way I thought it would. Okay. Well, it's not that. We'll just keep that, though. You never know. Let's go blue and cad red. I know that will work. If you go on the red side, there you go. Maybe you'll get an orange. Maybe you'll get a. Maybe we'll get close. Okay, it's really on the red side still. Okay. That doesn't want to play well. I guess we're gonna have to do. We'll go one more spot. Let's go alizarin.
That played well with me when I put that cad yellow light in it. That you've got that, I think.
Yeah, I didn't. Hey, you jumped. Yeah, see, you jumped ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Cad yellow light and alizarin.
That worked with the toning down the cad red and blue.
Yes. In fact, that's what I was going to do. Is just going to add blue to this color. No, that's cool. Good to see you jumped ahead. Great job. Don't let it happen again. Don't let it happen again.
Shut up.
No, that's cool. That's fine. No, you know, it's interactive. I don't, it's no big deal. So we got a few different oranges here to play with, which is good. It's good. It'd be boring if we just did it in one color. Maybe. Like I said, you say that because you never know. You never know. All right. So color wise, I'm gonna just take these guys down. Pretty much going to add a lot of white because I'm looking at a value. Really, the key value of this thing is probably right around. Well, these birds are, like I said, are 7. So we're going to go for 7s, then we're going to highlighten it up to probably close to 3s. So it doesn't get too bright. So let's split these piles. Oops. Split them before I add white. I won't need too much dark, so stuff. And if we do, they're easy mixes. We'll figure out what's coming out of here and what's not going to come out of here. I'm not going to, the reds too, the reds we can take down, but these guys are probably going to go right to our value warmth wise. Things are more mid-tones already. So these guys might not take much white at all to get there. We'll see. So, like I said, take these guys down to 7s, which will be the mid-tone for the birds. Let's see which one these guys work. This is the oxide and thing. Close to an 8, just a touch more white. And I'll go back and adjust the other ones. Okay. Oh, that was a lot of white. This is the green one. This is what I was saying would probably, I was thinking could end up in some of the shadow colors. Yeah, I mean, that definitely could be in there. That could be a nice transition from orange to blue, this green in between. So, oh, there we go. Good, good, good. I'm glad it stayed on the green side like this. It's not too green, and That'll be a nice, this should come really close to what I need. Um, so the green's just not screaming out of here. It is getting a little strong on more white I add, but yeah, I can always tone it down, but yeah, I might have to tone it down. Let's see what the red side of this color wants to be. Might end up mixing just these two together a little bit more. I don't mind that. That's as you can tell, it's really close to what we need. So I would love to do this color together. Let me see, value wise, just barely. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of this purple, put it there. Take a little bit of the green because I need to lighten this just a hair more. Put a little more green into it to gray it out just a touch more. Yeah, that'll do it. And then this one, I just a little purple red in it to gray this one out a little bit more, so it's just closer. That green will just shoot out. So these two, now it's pretty even. I'm gonna put a little more red in this for this one. Too close. There we go. Back to where we started. All right. The next ones are blue and oxide, red, light. If I can get these guys to work, I can have a lot of fun when I paint these birds because, there's a lot of colors. It doesn't look like it, but, there can be a lot of really nice colors in these guys. And it's going to look, I'm looking for kind of a gestury kind of painting that, I'm not going to stay within lines type thing. I want to be able to just kind of have it loose and flowy. And so being able to if I can get all these colors kind of to work together nicely, I can interchange everything. So look at this blue. I can put this blue behind these guys and it's going to push this green. That green's just going to jump in front of us. So that's really good to know. And I know I can put this oxide red side into their bellies. And that's going to look really good.
Jim, sorry, where are you thinking you're seeing green? Like in the water right behind where their feet are someplace?
No, I was seeing them in their chest.
In their body, okay.
Yeah, right in here.
Yeah.
There's the orange to the purple to
Oh yeah, okay.
That orange mixing in. There's just a feel of green. It could
Okay.
be this green, could probably be this green, but I want to put this in there too.
Okay.
From a warm green to a cool green to purple. I'm thinking. So you can go ahead and start painting. Don't worry about me. Jump ahead. I know you.
No, I'm not.
No, you'll go. Oh, don't lie to me.
No way. No
Okay.
way.
All right. So even bringing these guys up, these guys are way too strong for anything in here so far. But I'm looking at these guys as like accent colors, kind of colors I'm going to put in as scratches in here, down in here, that kind of stuff. I'll put it in. It's not going to, just little rich colors here and there. This one, I think probably has to come down a little bit more. It's just a little bit on the green side too much. I say that. I'm just going to leave it though, because it could be fun. Some of the things you got to do is you got to have some fun. Take some chances and stuff. That's what I'm looking at going. That could be a chance color. Okay. White into my yellows. These guys are going to go pretty much towards the, even these guys probably going to end up towards the back end here, and some of the warmth you're going to find back in here. I'll, thinking about it and stuff, yeah, I can think they're gonna fit pretty nice. I'm gonna think about removing paint too. I think I can stand. I'm thinking about staining the canvas back in here with a red or orange, and then when I remove it, that the oranges and reds will be left behind, and then I'll come back with some of these guys on top. What color am I looking for now? Sorry, I jumped ahead. Sorry, way too far. But that's okay. I'm coming up to my colors here. These are belly colors. Sorry, I was looking here going sand because I put the white in. Just went right back here. Didn't fit. Was going to fit in anywhere else here. So, putting in the same amount of white that I was doing back in here. So a lot less white. Trying to keep these 3 colors at least at 7. I might have to go back there and make those guys. Okay, definitely a little red there, but it might be able to find it in the water. You might find this in the heads type areas too. You can get away with a lot. That's why I love painting backlit scenes like this, because in the shadows, the contrast shadows and stuff, we can get away with so much fun paint colors. You can really push your colors and have some fun colors. I mean, as long as they're tight, like the same value, you can play with and have a lot of fun little colors reactions going on. But when you put the highlight on, it just everything kind of just goes, numb, and you can't. And all the colors just sit down and behave. It's like a kindergarten class, you got without the teacher there, the kids are just going wild, right? And then as soon as the teacher walks in, everybody just is quiet. So that's a that's a good analogy. So I'm adding just a touch more cad yellow to these colors right here, because these are going to go in the belly and end up being in the sand. So that'll work. Yeah, it's a little darker on my screen, so I'm just adding just a touch of cad yellow to these guys just to pop it here. Yeah, wow. So maybe I'll take this one over here too. Since I added too much white to it, I'm going to take it down here and add some yellow to it. Oh, that's a lot of yellow. That's not going to work. What color was that? That was cad red. That was cad red and blue. I just need the blue back in. Oh, let's see what happens over here. Too much yellow. But we'll see. You never know. There you go. It looks a little green on here. I'll just steal the white from there and a little bit. Cut it down. There we go. We'll see. I want to have some fun. And then your light colors, just a few, nice little whites. So I'm going to put out definitely just 4 dabs of white. One, I'm just going to put a touch of yellow in for my highlights. Cad yellow light. That's a little. I can put that in there just a little lighter because I think I put too much in, but not by much. And then the pink, a little bit of pink oxide or cad red, just for a pink. Like a blue. And I'll And then the last one, I'm going to go for a color we haven't even used in the painting, but I'm going to tone my canvas with it. Go with the oxide red, transparent oxide red. Just to give me a different color here. You know, that might end up being highlights and stuff. I'm going to leave it just right there for now. So I'll go through these colors again. We started up here with phthalo green and oxide red light. Took it to about a 7. Oh shoot, I didn't take lighten these guys up yet. I'm sorry. Jumped ahead. I meant to take these guys all to about a 3. Running out of space here, so I'm gonna bring. That's why I had all that space there, and I mixed it all up. All right, I'm gonna bring them down here anyway. Definitely gonna need these guys. Move this out of the way for now. I'll leave those there. What the heck? The blues down here, and even these guys got enough room. I can do that. Just gonna have white to these areas here till they bring them up to about a 3. So it's gonna take a little bit of white. Definitely a 5. So it's like double that amount of paint. I was thinking, hopefully I can get it in here a little bit. I put out a lot of white, so I was hoping I wouldn't have to, dive back in here. These warm colors always going to jump out at me a little bit more. Back here, this is it's going to get really close. Yeah, these guys can be all over that. Yeah, nice grays. Definitely can be used. One of the things I'll be doing, because this, we need to create space here, making sure that this water, or not the water, but this beach area here, stays flat. And so this contrast of this water right down here in the bottom is pretty key to keeping the water flat. Wow, this is a great color, right? Really makes that one look gray. Okay, so we will be using a lot of the few of these colors up here to make sure we get that in there. All right, so again, colors. Sorry about that. So we start off phthalo green and oxide red, mix them to about a 7. Mix them again to about a 3. Took them over these ones over here in brown mode. So this is phthalo green and alizarin, of course, moving it to 7s and then to 3s. This is blue and oxide red light coming down. Beautiful smoky blue and stuff. Coming down to a 7, coming down to a 3. Here we just mix the green and the blue together. Pretty simple. Green side, blue side, and then you add your white. This is where I was saying you might want to be able to, you never know. And of course, I did not mix my white in there. Oops, got a little green, yellow in there. We're gonna leave it. Happy accident. Okay, over here we have orange and blue put together. Didn't really turn out the way I was looking for. I was hoping it was going to be a turn out to this one. This is the cad red and blue, which again, I going a little fast here, trying to get more pile back here. So it's going to take more red to get it there. There you go. Sure, I have some. Coming down with white, and it turned out pretty good when I had just a touch of yellow to it because somebody mentioned it. It worked out really well. Over here we have alizarin and yellow together, and just a scratch of blue, and then just a touch of yellow into them, white and yellow. Over here we just did white, and I just did some specialty colors just for highlights for water and sparkles. So cad yellow white, just a cad yellow light, some cad red light, some blue and white, and then this one is transparent oxide and white. Okay, there we go. We've got a nice palette, simple for this Easter painting of ours. It's not Easter yet. Tomorrow is, but I figured, hey. So I'm gonna get everything set up, and we'll come back. Be back. Okay, that's working. Let's get this guy set up. Okay. Toning a canvas. Like I said, I'm going to tone it. You know, if you want to mark where you think the birds are going to go, that's fine. Clean my brush just one more time, wipe off some paint. Okay. So I'm going to go with just a little warmer. Why? I don't know. I just felt like it, you know, could, I think it will help with the graying out some colors. I'm going to do it pretty light though, too. So I'm not going to. One second. I got to get this ready. All right. Just gonna rub it in. It's gonna be really a light one. Okay. Just gonna draw it in a little bit, just a few indications, not too much. You know, I want to get design wise, definitely just above center up here for like back wave here. This back wave that goes through here. Want to get that a little bit above center. Right there. So there's my drawing. That's about it. A little top stuff. Um, um, the birds, definitely, one's gonna go. I want to keep one on this side, and then group these other two right over here, slightly off. And then, like I said, down in here, you know, keep it a little bit darker right in this area here. So this painting will, you know, we'll have some depth. We'll get the water lay flat. A little bit of oil would be good. Oops, gotta just open up a new one. Oh, this one is open. All right. So clean up my brush. I'm gonna start off still with our darkest colors. I am gonna go with some let's just go the way we got them. This is phthalo green and oxide red light. It's on the green side, thinned out. I'm not going to do it very dark, but just start to lay it in here. Then I'm going to lay it in here low. I'm going to do the bottom because this is really where I'm thinking this color's really got to be. That the warmth in the red, I'm thinking, going to help bring it forward and just give it a nice angle too. That's just thinned out. Just a lot of oil. It seems like a lot of oil, but it's really not. It's going over pretty good. I'm also going to look in the back there a little bit for this color, but again, it's not going to be full strength. It's going to be watered down. Thinking right here at the edge, right here, going in, this guy going around this bird. I didn't draw on the birds because they're, like I said, they are not much of anything. I think I can put them in quite easy. So really, I'm just using this color here to get their backs. Those lines are good enough. Like I said, even we'll take care of the feet of the birds and things at the end. Don't jump ahead and put them in with a brush. You can put them in with a knife, a scratch. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want anything heavy. The thinner, we want a big block of bird, and then we'll just come back. Okay. I guess I could have, I definitely could have probably just drawn them in. It's not that much to go over these things. So if you drew them in, that's great. Okay, and I'm going to put it up to the top too on this color up here a little bit. I might go a little cooler back here though. Let's go over to the alizarin and blue. Or alizarin, no, I'm sorry, alizarin and phthalo green. This, I'm gonna put just, didn't want to go up back here too fast with it because if it came off the brush, it was going to be really chunky, and I want to test it down there someplace not too worried about messing up. So a lot of probably greens, warm green looks like in my brush still, so I didn't quite wipe it out very well. Oh well. Oh well. All right. Yeah. A lot of. All right. I'm just going to go through, and this is the purple side, like so, of the phthalo green and alizarin. Again, the same thing, just a little thinned out. I am going to start to lay in these guys too. I might even go back with the green and have some fun too. You know, where these basically reverse popsicles here. Things are of each other coming down. I probably should have just drew them in now. Like I said, they're just pairs. It's not like a big deal. If I can get some of this purple in here, that'd be fun. All right, forget it. Let's do their bodies. Okay, I'm gonna jump up here. Forgot about their legs, you know. Probably could have brought this down a little bit more. Oh well. Since I did that, I'm just gonna remove their paint here a little bit. That one goes back anyway, so that's good enough. All right, in good shape then. Just going to use this little middle line here I drew just for basically the center of this bird. Okay, that's it. And then this one the same way. His head's going to go right about here. Body in here. Okay, good enough. But since I was painting with the phthalo and alizarin, and I was thinking, you know, even be kind of fun to get that going in here. So that's why I'm coming back with the purple here. Maybe go back to the green. Put the green, more green side in this bird's head. Got this guy's head just a hair big, but a lot of fixes going to come down. So each one just going to be a little bit different than the other. I'm going with a little bit more green into this guy at the lower ends. And this is just staining. This is underpainting stuff, basically. If some of it stays, it's great. Doesn't, it doesn't, you know. Okay. All right. Yeah, just going through the dark colors. That's why I'm going, whoa, man, I could have, you know, I could have used that color there. So don't be afraid to use some of those purples stuff. Okay, going on to the next colors. These are, we're going to go pretty fast in the darks because there's nothing there dark. You know, we just did it. That's it. Oxide red and blue. Don't really, I was saying, yeah, this could be definitely in the beaks, but it's way too early to bring the beaks. Definitely, it's going to probably be in their legs, but again, we're not going to paint our legs till the end. Eyeballs too could be there. So I'm not going to paint that color. Skipping over the red side, going to go to the blue side though. The blue side watered down a little bit with some oil. Should be really good for the front here. Should start to bring in some, color and make these other, messes of here, pay attention, be better. I might even cheat it into these guys a little bit into the reflections here, a little bit of blue into them. You can get away with just that too. You don't have to do a ton of crazy colors on this. Definitely want to start put some of this blue in their chest of these birds. But again, it is going to be, marked down a little bit. I'll try to get as much of these colors to kind of come through and read as possible. But like I said, this colored though, I was thinking right behind them, more of those two. So just a little bit into them, and then back in here behind their heads and stuff. I have a green already in there. Definitely this blue starts to, come closer to the top. That green's going to stay at north towards the bottom. And like I said, the beautiful thing about this is the drawing is really nothing more than the highlight. It's a little bit of it might be a little bit of challenging to get that little scratch to be the highlight, draw it in right. But that's what we're asking for. If you can and it's oils, so you get more, if you don't get it right the first time, you get plenty of chances to get it right. But right now, I can get away with this being really quite messy painting. Also, I'm finding that blue right on the edge here of just a little ripple of water right in there behind them too. So just again, my color is very weak, oiled down a little bit. I have it with white, opaque wise, but I'd rather have it transparent. It's more of like a watercolor. I think that would be, is going to be more interesting. And the staining I'm doing right now, basically the greens and stuff back in here, the little bit of yellow from the tone and stuff. When I remove that, I'm expecting sparkles. I'm expecting this thing to really be popping. So what I'm putting in these blues and stuff, I'm going to clean this area up a little bit, have it go downhill a little bit more. Have a little bit of quiet area back there. I'm going to have it up here. I think I'm going to go just a little bit quieter. That way I can if I keep it quiet and I make a mark up there, it'll mean something. If it's a chaos, I'll make a mark up there, you won't be able to see it. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I was thinking there. Birds wise, that's looking good. Boy, that's quick. All right, we have gone pretty much through our darks already now. That's how quick that was. So I'm going to take a few more minutes and make sure that I got just this stuff going down as far as I want that mess underneath there. Okay, that'll be good. I might put just yeah, you can start to see even with the value of the orange here that it's not bad. That's that's starting to work out already. All right, going through, we're into midtones already. Let's start to see what's going to happen here. I'm going to look for quite a few colors coming through here. Definitely warmer ones, some greens, yellow, coming through right in here in the middle, and then cooler on the backside. So if I split this area into like that, this side down here, I'm going to keep warmer, and I take that side cooler. Warmer on the green side. So I'm going to go phthalo green and just a little bit of purple into this area here. This is at a 7, but I'm gonna have it lighten it up. This should be really good for in there. So I'm just gonna put it in lightly because I think I might have to go. So we're gonna put it in as more of an underpainting too, just to get everything laid out right. Wow, it looks really good. I like the green. Well, I don't know. I just love phthalo green. So this is the purple side. And then I'd put that back in here. Green becomes before purple to your eyes. Purple has a little blue in it, and so it falls back a little bit in space. But even when it's this dark and stuff, you can see a lot of color. So I'm thinking about even in here, just shoving it in here. It's going to be having some fun there. All right. We got a total mess on our hands. But that's good. It's a good mess to have. Okay, I'm going to go with those two colors again and work them into the birds a little bit more now. Purple, since I'm working with the purple side, I'm talking purple. It's phthalo green and alizarin. It's on the alizarin side. But I'm thinking about bringing that into this guy a little bit, into his head. Working it up around his beak, his neck. Just could go a hair lighter than that. That's just really close. I'm going to add just a touch of white to that color. Ooh. Touch of white with your brush usually doesn't work out very well. Yeah, now I'm much better. So this will tell me right where I have to take the all the other colors. So it might be a little dark. So I'm going to look at all these birds a little bit. Start to get their head shapes. That's not bad. I'm going to go to a little more phthalo green as I come down here too. Like I said, now I'll put in, I really don't like to go to the orange too early because it's one of the things that's going to mess up my brush, but it's also going to just, every time I hit it, it's going to make a mess. So let's stay away from oranges yet till we get all these colors in here settled. So this is again pushing in the phthalo green and alizarin, which is one of the things I'm gonna was thinking trying to stay away from. That's why I made up the other one. But man, this is just so sweet. This one I'm gonna make a little more phthalo green. I don't know why. I just feel like he's a little bit more phthalo green in him, and I can just not have to paint as too much of indications afterwards. This one has a little more, find those little spots right here on this forehead where his eyeball is going to go, and beak and areas. Just a little bit of lightness. And I'm just playing purple against green, a little bit on those shapes. Because I know everything else is going to go a little bit dark. Okay, good. All right, I'm going to go cut over to my phthalo green and oxide red. And this is on the green side. This is what I was thinking was going to end up going down in here lower, right by where the orange is going to go in. And so this is a pretty high. Oh shoot, this is pretty high too. This is at like 3-ish. So I knew it when I grabbed it, but I'm going to test it and see if I can lighten up this belly a little bit before I get to the thing. So it's really not quite 3. I'm just kind of going back to my 7 value of it, kind of mixing the two together a little bit. So it's probably more around a 5, just to get in the middle in the section right there. Because that will help this right in here, these kind of things, that orange or this green against these other cools will kind of come forward a little bit more, and it's going to create that arc to the body and stuff. So that's what I was looking at for that. Okay. Kind of jumping around here today. All right. I'm going to probably end up, painting with a bristle brush back in there to do all the water now. But down here, it calls for a synthetic to do all this basic, this area here. So I'm really gonna jump ahead, jump ahead my colors here a little bit, and put them in. This is the number 3 value. This is phthalo and alizarin. I'm just going to paint up to these guys here. If I go through them, I go through them. It's not a big deal. That's the thing is, I try to do things a certain way. Try to keep it as simple as possible. What's the best way to do it? But still, you still got to have some fun with it. I mean, sometimes it almost feels like it's too simple. Again, just using these colors. The nice thing is, see when you put in these, do mess up like this. You're going to get some nice color reactions. And that's what I'm going. Oh, it could be just too clean of a painting, And if it's too clean, it's just then it'll look a little simple. which it can be a simple painting. Okay. In here, I can see a little bit of coolness, but it has a little red into it. Purple. Let me see if this works. This is oxide red and blue. And I'm using that here at the right here on the edge. There's just a, gonna get it to come in here a little bit. Use these guys to blend each other out a little bit. Just a little bit of probably cloud color. So that little bit of kind of purple feel to it. So those two are going to be working together. Up here, it's going to be up here. It's going to be a little bit of green and pinks, kind of this kind of a purple pink. And then back in here, we're going to switch it off, and this is going to be going back to that purple on this backside here. Going to go a little purple and blue back in here. Give me some more space. Oh yeah, that's not even supposed to be here. So that's really a dark spot. That's gonna take some paint to fix that one. I'll put some blue on it to lighten it up. Okay. Then I'm going to come back in and put those mid-tone, everything in right. So. Adding just a little bit of oil to my paint, just to make it smooth, make it run. Okay. This should take care of the sand. Really a lot more light blue back in here at the back end. This is the blue and the alizarin. Blue and, I'm sorry, oxide red light with a lot of white in it. So it comes in pretty heavy into here. And then I'm going to work the purple, alizarin, and phthalo green back into this color here a little bit more. And then I'll probably come back in. I'm going to need more oil. And I'll bring the pink back in and run it through, and maybe that'll probably tie it through. I'm saying pink, it's oxide red and blue and white. I think that's going to run it all together. And then I'm going to come back in. I keep saying that. I'm going to keep coming back in. I'm going to keep coming back in. But just this is kind of the major area of the painting here, right here, that it looks simple and should look simple. But I want a lot of color in it, which, it's starting to work. It's starting to be there. So right in here, I can see a little more color. Let me see if this, I'm going to come in with a little bit of blue and phthalo right above this area here, right around this guy's shadow, right in there. Look, a few little spots even in this area here would be nice. We'll see all that dark we put in there and stuff. We're just going to start covering it up a little bit. See, my purple's just a little bit too white. That's just too white. So I had to go back in and some more oxide and blue to it and less white. So I went back to 7 value, which probably needed a 5. So that's what I just kind of made up just by mixing the two together. So, but I think this color here, the 3 version of this color, which it goes here and stuff, I think That's going to be, these just a little bit of stripes to get this, uh, get me back and forth through this area, this no man's land here. It's happening right here. So getting a few little nice lines of that pink. It's pink. I say pink, but it's on the red side. It's really kind of a purple. It just has a little more red to it. Doesn't really show up back in here that much. Gets rid of everything. It gets me pretty close. There we go. All right. That's a good block in. We got a decent block in. Yeah. A lot of little knife work I'll be doing down in here just to break up these things. All right. Let's get going on keep going on the birds a little bit now. Let me see. This is green. I'm looking at the green side. Maybe it's more mixed. This is oxide and phthalo green. I'm looking at just a little too warm, but I can see a little warm patch into this what do you call it? The shape here. This little thing. So I can see it in here, but also I see the alizarin, the other side of it, which is the cooler side with the alizarin mix into it, and that really just love it. Just want to bring that out. Don't be afraid to overpaint a little bit. So I got a little bit of both going back in here. I'm going to make sure that this last one, I'm going to push the alizarin on this one a little bit more. Got to start getting well, he's got this guy has to line up. So this is not, I am a little bit far over here. I got to push this guy over here a little bit. We'll be doing this is what we'll be doing at the end. Just pushing everything back with your finger. As long as you got enough paint, you can, push these things back. So if I don't show you that, that's what I do, or I would be doing. I was just going back and forth and just clean your finger after every one. I'm just using the meat of my little finger, just going through and tightening up things. All right, I'm going to go to a little bit smaller synthetic. I'm going to put in the orange a little bit now. Let's see what this is oxide. This is blue oxide. No, this is cad orange. Cad red. Cad red. And I think so. Yeah, as you can see, it's just a little bit bright. So I'm going to put it in not quite as heavy as I was thinking. Just a little rocks. Start to think about, legs and things like that, down here underneath. It's like everything comes down and comes to a leg, comes around this way to a leg, and then in between the two, you got a tail, back of a tail. This guy's not quite, look at that, perfect pair. That's all he is a perfect pair. Putting him a little bit rich, and then I'll come back and lighten them up. Sorry. Just looking at, I got to push this guy over a little bit too. See, it would have helped to drawing it out a little bit more. Wouldn't have. I can always push this stuff back. So it will fit, but that one, and that one. Just see where the mix rate in here should be pretty close to what I need. That's pretty close. I can live with that, even in these guys. Nice synthetic, goes through everything pretty nicely like that. All right. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm just going to lighten them up now. Then I'm going to go over to the real colors. I was thinking about them being and lighten them up a little bit. Just a little bit of white to them. This color, and repainting over and stuff a little bit. But not quite, right up to the edge almost, a little bit of some of these things, and then letting the dark show through there. And this is alizarin and yellow and just a touch of blue. This is really the color I was, shooting for. But that's just a little bit too red. So it's going to be on the yellow side. A little bit of white too. Just lightening up a few spots here. Just get rid of that a little bit. That was a little strong. I guess it move this one over just a hair more. Okay. I'm going to use some of that orange. Go back to the very strong value of this blue and cad red. Usually, what I'm trying to think about is right here before, underneath the highlight, is going to be the highlight. There's just a touch of warmth. So I'm just putting this in and I'm just gonna push it back out a little bit. Just a hair of warmth right on the rim, and it's gonna be right underneath where the highlight goes. So you can dig into the highlight where you think the highlight, drawing wise. There's a little bit more head there. So it's just, I just start to, really start to define everything a little bit. Except for the legs, like I said, no legs. These legless birds is what I want. So just a little bit, I'm just going to soften the edge a little bit. Bring it down to where I think the eye is going to end up being just a little warmth there. Same on this guy too. Just and then just their bodies here. You can see a little bit of hair, body behind them. I'm coming back in with a little phthalo green and oxide red on the green side, just for because it's kind of a gray. It's a warm gray, and I can put it back here behind their bodies here, just where they have the wings folded. That warmth in there, and that's you see it in the water down in here, you'd be lucky, but if you put it in here, you can get it in there too. Okay. So gonna darken in these guys a little bit too, a little bit darker. Now get bring back some of the phthalo green, and I'm gonna do a mix of phthalo green and oxide. Phthalo green and alizarin mix down in here. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna do. I was gonna put in, I did not much, not enough. Sorry, I was thinking I put in oxide red and green too, kind of mix the two mixes just slightly together before I get a hybrid of the two. But really, I don't have to. I think I got, because of the orange I put in here, yeah. So I put the orange in here. I don't need to do that. So, never mind. We'll bring the color back down a little bit on this one. This needs to be right in here, and we're set. That's good start on everything. We definitely, could use some little bit of, things in the water yet, but right now we're just, working our way towards things. Okay, we're probably just going to keep working on the birds and the reflection. Stuff behind here is pretty good. In fact, I'm not too, a few little things will end up going through everything. All right. Gonna go and get to my bristle brush and put in the water behind there a little bit. Just gotta clean it out. Make sure it's good and clean. One more rub. All right. I'm gonna start putting in the midtones into the water, which should help. Uh, I'll start with the blues. I want to start with the blues because I think those are going to work out, really get me going. So this is blue and oxide red with a lot of on the blue side. And yeah, I'm going to see about it in here. This is like at a 7 too, so it's pretty dark. But this has some real, you know, opaque paint on it. We're been dealing with trying to do mostly transparent paint back there. So and then when after a certain spot, everything just is going to kind of blur out. I'm not going to. Getting to the point where gonna have to start making some tighter decisions. Gonna work this blue into the few spots in the water here too. A couple nice swipes with it on the edge here. So we already have this color in here, but we don't have it in this value kind of coming in to mix in here a little bit. I was saying even in here, just going to add a little more phthalo and blue together into this just to a few spots like this, run it through. This is on the green side, in fact. Yeah. Just working it into this thing, very light touch. Give this back up so these kind of line up. look for it up here a little bit. Okay. Cut down to
Jim, I can't really see what you've done on the top, where ultimately it's going to be all that froth.
right here, the
What?
reflected.
Yeah, is it like what kind of marks are you making? Just dark, smudgy marks with the.
Here, let me bring it in. You can take a look. Let me clean up. Not much. It's just really right here is smudgy. Right in here.
Yeah.
Right here is just real thin, little light. Not much.
Okay.
So, yeah. Sorry. That's. I'll get this easel a little more straight up and down. Right now, it leans back just a hair too much. Didn't think about that. Reflections of the light and stuff too going in here. All right. So I added some back there, got it a little bit clean here. Trying to work it in here a little bit. Where did I get that white? Get that out of here. All right. I'm gonna work on the birds a little bit more, and then we will then I'll let me do a real quick remove some paint. This is how quick it goes. I'm going to start with like right behind his head, right in here, and see that as a square, the rectangle it is, and see if I can, replace it. Just take it out as that shape, as if this was the way it was going to go. And the same thing over here, a little swoop coming down. I should be wiping them off too after each time I do this. Sorry, I should have told you that. And I'll just start to nibble at the outsides of these things because it's kind of like these guys all kind of go together a little bit of removing highlights and putting in the highlights of their heads. One of the things I want to do different sizes and different angles when I remove paint. I don't want to do them all the same, size. That's the thing. Even if, that's why I'll combine a few, make a bigger one, smaller one. But I'm just going to work. See if I can use anything that I've done, that marks I've made with the brush that can come in handy here. Like I said, I'll just start to even get into the drawing aspects. You guys know where to get these paint erasers and things, right? Oh, I can't get it perfect. Unless you use one of these. Then you can get it perfect. But then I'm going to come back and put paint in too. You can also, this is just one way to do it. I was thinking I thought it was going to be kind of fun. But if it doesn't work for you, you can always put it in with paint. I just thought, always think, sometimes sometimes this is just so much more interesting than just painting it with full paint, which is kind of always, expected. So removing the paint sometimes is a just a more unique uh, thought. And the way we paint wet into wet, we have a good chance of making it work. And if you can draw, a little bit too out of your head and get these guys in the right spot, you got it made. It's always a little bit, you do got to have some drawing skills in painting. But there are, like we all know, there's ways around that. So this one's pretty good. I mean, just pulling out some things here. So this thing cuts really like a squares and rectangles pretty nicely. Where this thing can do pretty much everything else, so that's pretty nice. Okay, gonna start pulling off some more paint up here. That's where I have a lot of that, even the underpaint from the very beginning, the toning. There was method to my madness there a little bit, so I feel which is unique sometimes that for me have anything turn out. It's going to look a little blotchy for a while, but then as you start to pull it off and stuff, it'll settle down. You're going to get blotches. Paint. I just put them in my thing here. Just a really neat effect that we shouldn't should always try to remember everything. There is so much to do in painting, so just having a little bit of a plan as we go in to a painting, so you can kind of remember what you're gonna do, when you're gonna do it, why you're gonna do it. So, and hopefully it works. So then you might go back in with your finger and just soften a couple edges here. Smudge out the bottom. Usually it's going to be on the bottom too, the edge to take off, to soften. It's just going to be a finger rub. Kind of fun. Kind of reminds me of an old illustrator named Bernie Fuchs, who this is what he did, like a oil painting. What do they call it? A little washes and stuff. He did them like washes like this, and then he just remove the paint from the canvas and be really neat, have neat effect. So trying to get these little highlights to hit the highlights of the bird here and there. Don't have to worry about this guy. He's pretty there. Okay. Gonna leave that there, and then we'll say that's in the process. This one needs one more long one right here, though. And as I get back here too, distance, just put a finger on the edges, and you might put it on both sides, because I said down in here we want to do mostly the bottom part of the uh, of the highlights we put in, just soften those. Back in here, you might probably end up doing both. Little finger painting, that's always good. It's back there, we don't break that spot right there. All right. What time we have here? Getting close. Oh, I got a half an hour to finish the guys. Oh man, what are we gonna do with all that extra time? All right, I'm gonna just go to I'm gonna stay with a bristle brush, but a smaller one now. If I can find it. I can find it. Where's my in there? Get a bristle brush that's small enough to get in their heads, to their heads. Came back from Houston, and I should have cleaned my brushes, I should have cleaned my brushes better. So they're just a little bit, a little stiff. Some of them I haven't used this week. Okay, so some of that stuff's working out pretty fun. I kind of like it. Just in the sides of their heads inside here, just need a little bit of more darkness. I might even go, top of this guy, go a little more like a phthalo on top of his head here, come down. Just get that darkness into his, and then come into his eyes. A lot of phthalo. Sorry, guys. It's just one of my colors. Yeah, there you go. That was it. A little more, even more phthalo. Finding a little bit of richness in this guy. Phthalo and blue and white here coming in just a little bit on the sides here. Just like, wow, it's really neat. I like that color. I like those colors together. But usually I'm finding them right up here in the neck, right in here on the edge here. And then just barreling it into the red, green, or the orange here. So I'm going to push down. He looks like this one. He looks like his pants are up too high. Like your grandpa, or I'm going to push those, push this color down a little bit. I'm gonna come back with, okay, now I'm gonna go to one of the colors we haven't used up top. Oxide red and blue. I said I was gonna use it probably around his eye here. So I'm slightly pushing in some red warmth right in the top from the top of their heads here and stuff. Oh, that one, this guy needs that same thing. He doesn't have it. It's more on these two guys right here. You know, I can made this guy's head just a little too short, so add a little bit of width. Right here. I'm gonna go back to that phthalo blue on the green side. I want to get right here on the face here too. Just get that little spot on each side, right above where I'm going to put their uh, beaks and stuff. I already did this guy a couple times now. Okay. Just getting that rich now. It's just really nice. Pops out of there really nice. And that way I can get that eyeball in there light or darker. A little darker against this light color. I'm probably going to add just a touch of white to it. Just a hair lighter than the 7 I have, probably going to like a 6, maybe 5. Right in here. All right, I'm going to stay. That'll be enough. Going to put in just little dots of eyes. Definitely, I like putting them in with my knife. Make sure I got a good clean knife. Oxide red and blue. Oxide red, light and blue. Just a little dot here. It's about 3/4 of the way from there to there, to the edge. So it's right about here. Of center. Slightly bigger, but got it marked. What? What's that?
Okay. Bad looking eye. Looks, you know what they look like? They look like geese.
Yeah, they look like geese, do they? Do they really? You're right. Mine look like geese. Thank you.
Mine look like geese.
No, don't give me that. I know you were talking about mine.
No way.
Being a little. Yeah, I got to get just a touch bigger here and there. Just this guy here is the important one. This guy's probably the second important. If you could just put it in with a dot, you're fine. Beak too. If you can put the beak in, I'm going to put the beak in with pretty much the same color. And that should follow right underneath the eye. You know, where this eye stops. That's should be where the beak, comes out of. I mean, it doesn't come out of there, but it should line up. And it should be pretty close. Mine's a duck now. Damn it. Yeah, it's push. The thing is, we just push it back, yeah, a little bit too far. Keep cleaning your fingers, and you'll be good there. That one's close. That's close. That's close. That's better. As long as I get one right, I'll be happy. Right now, this guy needs a little bit of. He doesn't. His isn't showing up, so I'm gonna cheat his a little bit. Clean fingers. Push things back. Okay. How are we doing? We're doing pretty good. All right. Before I put the legs in and get some of the stuff, I want to put in a few little lines back in here, some warm ones. Right here on the edge. Basically, their belly color, almost working it into right here on the edge of the water here, the line. A little warmth in there, maybe. Making sure you have like areas like this where I don't have paint. Have it filled in, so we don't. You don't have to go back in, because after you put in the legs, you just don't want to disturb any of this stuff back in here, because it's just going to be a mess. You'll make a mess. So at this point, let's make sure your water here before you even don't have to rush this. That's what I'm trying to say is if you're not there yet, that's okay. When you get there, make sure you have everything softened right before you put those legs in. Come back into the water one more time. Look for a little more spots of phthalo green and blue. And these guys are going to just be just really good, just strong lines. Just to break up it's very flat. Just add a little more color. Even in this water back here, probably definitely could go a little green bluish. Right. Those little lines here. Just touch these guys into place, baby. All right. Probably, I think underneath here, it's not bad. If they can, as long as I let's push some a little more green right in here because it's why not? Okay. I am going to start bringing out my knife. I'm getting there, getting to the point. I'm going to put in this bottom part though. I need to go in just a little bit stronger. So I'm going to go with blue and oxide, trench oxide, light, blue, red, can red. And basically, I'm just going to load my brush, my palette knife up underneath, pretty full. I mean, the whole bottom of it. I just want to load it up with some paint. I'm going to lay it on flat and bring it and drag it across here and just get that effect of that. I just got to put more paint on the knife. I just more blue, just a touch of that. So it's really low, and I can just lay it down here and run it through here. It's going to create a lot of that same effect, and then I'll just touch it with the brush, and it should lay down nicely. Now look for a few little lines to pull out of there that are interesting. There's a couple little together. Just laying it totally flat and just pulling it out. Mm-hmm. And look at this, I'm going, okay, this is pretty good. I think this little spot here is just a little light. I'm really getting there. I'll be doing the legs right next, making sure that these these reflections do fall in the right spots. Pretty close. just now what I'm doing on the bottom of the birds is just pulling out where the legs are going to come out of. The spots. Just give them a little dimple underneath their body here, and then I'll just drop them in. And hit a few highlights. All right, like I was been saying, I'm going to put a little more, some cad red into this oxide red and blue mix, just to make it a little richer. And then what I'm going to do is just load up the side of my knife, and I'm going to get just like an ice skate. I'm just going to load up that one side of my knife, just like that. And I'm going to I'm going to work on this bird here. And I want to see about where I got to lay down. I can even make a mark about almost halfway between this bottom and this thing. So really close to halfway, maybe. So I know this leg's going to come here, got to come at an angle. So I'm just going to put a dot in there, and then right next to it, about the distance I got to go, put in another dot. Make sure I have paint, and I'm just going to run a line straight from that where I had the leg go, and then I'm just going to touch it down, just push on it a little bit, and get the leg. I can do the same over here, just making sure I don't get too much. A little thin. There you go. And then just step and repeat, kind of doing the same thing here. This guy's legs go pretty straight forward underneath him. No, I didn't connect them to the shadow. Don't worry about it if it's the same color. Slight angle, pretty much up and down. And I'll just put in these guys. So this guy's going to bend back a little bit. Very simple. And when you put them in with a knife and stuff, you can put them in. They don't have to go in quite as dark because the thickness of the paint is going to darken up a little bit. So, yeah. And you can come back and just touch those little spots that need a little thickening. Yeah, might There could be some fun things to do here yet. Uh, as I was doing this, I'll definitely go through. This is just some. Let's see a lizard in the thing. Just to put some highlights. The highlights in the in between here. Put them in my knife. And then I'll just come back with my finger for a few other things. Give it a thing. This is what is this? This is phthalo and phthalo and blue, or phthalo and green. Oh, sorry, phthalo green and purple, or alizarin. As my highlights here. So just a few. At the end, I just usually just look for a few more down in here now. And I did back there, but I did not, you know, do this surface. Of adding highlights. And the same thing applies pretty much. I'm gonna, if if I need to come back in and put them in with paint, I'll do that. That should get us there for today. I'm like I said, the last little thing I'll be doing is just cleaning a finger. This is where we painted with enough paint and stuff. You should be able to you know push your finger through here a little easy and get some of these things to travel through here. You don't have to do as many that are in the painting either. Just uh, get a few of them cut through. No, I did say touch the. If you lay your brush straight down on these guys, I'll do it. Take the curse off the straight line, the perfect thing too. Oh, I didn't put in. There's just a little like ankle bump thing right here too. They're missing. I'm just got to put that in, but this is good enough. Just soften those. Place. I'll bring you in close, and definitely there's some more work to do. A lot of softening up here to do. I bet it's interesting. Boy, you can't see anything today. Okay, I'll bring it back up here. You can start to see what I was doing. Birds could be a little bit orange. I pushed them a little bit. So anyway, let's see what everybody else did. Got Kim and you, just Kim
All
and
right.
Carrie. This is, yeah. I guess no one wanted to paint this one.
Oh, here we go. I'm going to try to turn it.
Okay, let me get Kim up here. I want Kim by herself here. 1 second, Kim. Oh, Kim. Wow, nice job on that, Kim. You really, I love the way you push the ground, that the water and stuff are underneath them. Yeah, it's really nice. That's really added a lot to them. Back behind, that's a good start. That's a lot of fun stuff going back there. Just needs a little more pulling that together. Probably a lot of times you got the big stuff in. It's probably the little stuff is going to really add to it. The birds themselves look good, and in the right positions. The shadows are falling underneath. That's pretty good. You did all that today?
Yeah.
Well, congrats. I mean, that's really, hey, that's a great start.
I try to keep up.
You do. You're a smart girl.
All right.
All right. I'm going to come back to me because it looks like I'm not sure if anybody else is replaced. Let's see. Carrie, are you there? Let's see if Carrie's there. We'll sneak in. Her video's off too. Wait, there's Carrie. Here's Carrie. Hi, Carrie. Did you paint? He's turning. Let's see. Here she did. There she did. She's moving. There we go. Oh, she did. Congrats. Good girl.
I think you're on mute.
Oh, she says it's there, but she probably muted it. iPhone 4, who are you?
It's Monica.
Monica's here. What's Monica doing here? Quiet. Good to hear from you, Monica. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you too.
What are we doing here, Carrie? What's going on today? Oh, she doesn't. Well, you don't want to show? You showed it, but then I figured you were gonna stay on a little bit longer. I like the warmth. That's a really great start. Those floating birds look great. Good job on that. Okay, yeah, I just a little there. God, that's gonna be a beautiful painting, Carrie. I love the softness. I love the way you kept some things soft, and then you got the real hardness around the birds. That's a really great way to keep going on here. Don't you? I would say even you don't have to do too much more. I'd like to see the legs put in, and I think you're going to be really close to finish on that one. That's beauty. I like the warmth in it too. I might steal that, but you didn't hear me say that. Good job. Congrats, Carrie. Way to paint that one. No worries. Let's go on back. Yeah. So yeah, we didn't have too many here today. I'm sorry to say that. But it is Easter, so a lot of people are going to be around. Next week we are at it again. We should be good till like June. Going through classes and stuff. I think. Let's see. And if you guys want to ever make up that, one of those classes, that sick day class, you guys can definitely do a Monday or get the recording from a Monday, or I'll try to get another one in somewhere. I can't guarantee you exactly when it's going to be though. Always stuff coming up right now. What else? Did you guys got to get this magazine too while we're here. This just came out today. I guess got the Art of the West. God, it's really nice. There's this goofy kid guy in the middle here. They did a feature on. I don't know why. I don't know why they did. But they did. They did a feature on me, and then some of my paintings and things like that. Kind of fun. So, Art of the West.
Jim, did they interview you for that, or did they just?
No, they interviewed me, called me up and talked to me a little bit, and I gave them all kinds of goofy stuff. So,
And they still wanted to publish it. Wow.
well, I tell you, they're fools. Hey, what can you say? Anyway, next week we'll be at it again. We'll figure out something, probably, landscape, and an animal. Maybe buffaloes. Who knows? Something interesting. All right. Something we don't paint all the time. So if you guys have an idea, let me know too, and we'll dive into it. But I'm going to say Happy Easter, everybody, tomorrow and stuff.
To you.
Yeah. And we'll see you all next week.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Bye.
Okay, guys. See you next week.
Bye now.